6.
6? What happened to 7?
Just kidding. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
That's much too early. Prepare to fast forward.
Preparing to fast forward.
Fast forward.
Fast forwarding, sir.
No, go past this. Past this part. In fact, never play this again.
This is Video Store Clerks. All movies. All the time.
Well, as usual, you're out of the new releases I wanted.
We would be honored if you would join us. Dad?
Drop it.
Groovy.
This is Video Store Clerks. Welcome to the store.
Barf. Huh? Barf. Huh? Barf.
What? Always when I'm eating.
We're live.
Oh.
Just set up here. Oh. For the 100th time, we welcome you to the Video Store Clerks Podcast. It's our 100th episode. Can you believe it?
It's fucking crazy.
And we're all here, but well, let's just get on with it. I'm Dave Starr.
Barf man.
I was raised
So
in a
nasty.
monastery.
All rise in the presence of Mike Helmet.
Darth Helmet. Helmet, I love that band.
Welcome.
Nice.
Welcome one, welcome all. Hold on, this is the first time I'm seeing this, so I'm taking it all in.
Yes, take it all in, because this is the 100th episode, and there's nothing you can do except enjoy it.
Take it.
Take it. I love it. Once again, welcome to the show. Our 100 episode special. We'll be talking
That's a
about.
mess back there.
But it is.
It's a mess back there.
Yeah, it always is. We'll be talking about the Mel Brooks classic, one of our favorite movies of all time. That's right, Spaceballs.
Yes.
We'll also be doing our 100th clip of the week. And we also have some very special video messages that a couple surprise celebrities were kind enough to give us a few shout outs. How about that?
Good. They should be shouting out to the heavens that the Video Store Clerks are the best podcast in the universe.
Woo! But we will start the program as we always do. So for the 100th time, it is time for the news.
You know I always drink my coffee when I'm watching the news.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. No. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks again for watching.
We leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.
Take it away.
Sting.
That's a good clip.
I was proud of that one.
That's good.
That is good.
Melissa, welcome.
Welcome, Melissa. I hope
Hi.
you enjoy the 100th episode.
Indeed. Well, starting with the box office, these are your U.S. totals for this past weekend. This weekend was much better than the previous week, where the Super Bowl demolished the weekend box office. The top movie last weekend was only $6 million, but this weekend was much better. Coming in at number one was the Bob Marley movie. Bob Marley, One Love, brought in $29 million, bringing its total to $52 million. Not too shabby. And coming in at number two, Madam Web opened at number two. If you don't know what Madam Web is, don't worry, because we'll be coming back to that here in a minute.
Good for you.
Madam Web may have opened at number 2, but it will not be on the charts next week.
Argyle came in at number 3. You dropped a cookie.
I got plenty.
Okay, the animated feature Migration is hanging in there at number 4. The new episodes of The Chosen came in at number 5. Just goes to show, don't do a GoFundMe. Just make a movie about religion and you're set.
Right.
Are we still on? Okay, good.
Good.
Number 6, Wonka. Number 7, The Beekeeper. Number 8, Anyone But You is still hanging in there in its 9th week. Oh, man. Lisa Frankenstein dropped all the way to number 9. Ouch.
Did you all see
And
that
a movie called Land of the Bad. Looks like a war movie. Opened number 10.
Have you all seen that Lisa Frankenstein movie or no?
No, man. I
No.
thought a lot more people were going to go see that, but I guess not.
These dog biscuits are making me thirsty. I feel like Kramer, the pretzels commercial. How you doing?
I don't get that reference.
I do, because I used to repeat that all the time with the Wagners when they used to do their show, the Wagner Wilds. And they for a while, Lance Wagner would do the whole these pretzels are making me thirsty. So I did a video of me eating pretzels and repeating that. Then I had Dax eat pretzels and then do it. So it was
I'm
a
not
whole
even thinking out. Like, these are literally dog biscuits.
Are they cookies though?
No, they're dog biscuits.
Like they're 100% fucking dog biscuits.
You're eating actual dog biscuits?
Oh yeah. That's how hey Roger, this is how I quit smoking.
Oh, in other news, the news unfortunately wasn't that exciting for our 100th episode. I'm kind of disappointed.
They're good for your teeth.
So the Madam Web, which I still, it just baffles me who's in charge of these studios that release these movies. Like, I remember when the trailer came out, I'd said something. I was like, wow, they're really doing this, huh? Well, it has surpassed Morbius on the Rotten Tomatoes. People are saying it's worse than Morbius, and
I don't know how.
it is. That's what I said.
Challenge accepted.
The lowest earning box office from any Sony Spider-Man movie. Another Sony Spider-Man movie without Spider-Man. That's it in a nutshell.
Sounds perfect.
Wonder why it didn't do well.
Can't imagine why. Oh, here's some new kickboxer movies on the way. Ooh. We'll be starring, of course, Jean-Claude Van Damme and an actor named Scott Adkins, who was in the recent John Wick movie. I'm not familiar, but he looks pretty badass. But anyway, he'll be playing the villain, a cult leader named Caesar. And the title of the film, the title of the film is Kickboxer Armageddon.
Oh God.
Yeah, I know.
It's gonna be. We already know. It's gonna be about as good as like Pet Sematary Bloodline, but we already knew.
Yeah. So
like, why?
Caesar.
Time to change it.
Caesar was a great leader, like Mike Helmet.
This is great, man. I love you guys.
You look like a fucking Lego.
You look like a Lego. Lego my ego.
In remakes and reboots that nobody asked for, a new Sherlock Holmes is on the way.
Oh, good.
Again. This will be a TV series. Oh, wait, it gets worse. The title will be Sherlock and Daughter. And it'll be on the CW.
Oh, good. I didn't have enough Sherlock Holmes movies and films in my life. I needed another one where his goddamn daughter shows up.
Sherlock and daughter.
No
Sounds
shit, Sherlock.
horrible.
Sherlock Homeboy.
Not that anybody will probably care, but I figure we might as well cover it because we've been talking about this a few
Hello,
times.
Jess.
Jess! We made Jess laugh. That's fun.
Welcome.
Yes, a teen drama.
Yeah, probably. It's going to be horrible.
It's like that fucking dumbass Teen Wolf MTV shit.
Oh, and playing Sherlock will be, I don't know the actor's name, but you know, he was in the Harry Potter movies. He was the dude that turned into like a wolf or something.
No idea.
Oh, the guy that played Jacob or whatever.
Maybe that was him.
There you go.
Sure.
I only know, I've never even seen all those. I've seen like the first like 30 minutes of the first one like 4 different times, and I keep falling asleep. I just know from like friends of mine that were fans of that. I knew that guy was a werewolf.
Yeah, I think I was.
Gross.
I bet that's him. But he'll be playing Sherlock Holmes for 1, maybe 2 seasons at best.
No shit, Sherlock.
This is going to be so much fun. Stay tuned. We're only 10 minutes in. It's going to get better. We've been covering the casting of the Fantastic Four, so we might as well just cover this and be done with it. The Fantastic Four have been cast. Pedro Pascal will be playing Mr. Fantastic. Joseph Quinn, who was in Stranger Things. Eddie? Was that his name?
Eddie.
Was he the older cat? The one girl's brother?
The one that was playing Metallica on the roof.
Oh, okay.
That dude. He'll be the Human Torch. Vanessa Kirby will be the Invisible Woman, and I'm going to botch this name, but I'll do my best. Iban Mas Bakrak.
Bless you.
It was Eddie?
It was.
Okay, good.
Who's playing?
He'll be playing the Thing, and the only thing I know him from is he was the computer dude from The Punisher Netflix show.
I think Michael Chiklis should have been.
He was so good, right? He was a perfect Thing.
It made sense because he kind of looks like him anyway, without all the, rock.
Oh God! And like I said, it's a slow news day. So finally, oh God, you scared the shit out of me. Batman Beyond animated feature may be on the way. It's been pitched by a Spider-Verse artist, complete with concept art. I'd say that's the way to go with that. Don't do another live action.
I'm down, man. I'm down with some fucking like some animated like movies, man. Because like I haven't seen the second one, but the first Spider-Man,
the first one was awesome.
The first one was like that was animated. It was really good. I really liked that. If they made more movies like that, like Superman, like superhero wise, I'd be all about it.
All right.
And Dolph Lundgren got his citizenship.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. You believe that? Dolph Lundgren just, I think last week or not too long ago, he just got his citizenship. You believe that?
I mean, he's only in his 60s, right?
It's about damn time.
No shit. Maybe. He's a national treasure.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like really surprised.
We almost lost his ass like a little while back. Like,
what happened?
He had cancer. He kept it hush hush. Yeah, like I think he had like 3rd or 4th stage cancer, and they were really thinking it wasn't looking good. And then he went and had some experimental surgery done overseas or some shit because he can do that kind of thing. And I guess now he's a fucking universal soldier. I don't know.
Well, good, right. All right, that's it for the news. Oh, want to check our video messages?
Video messages.
Video message number 1.
Hey everybody, this is Tom Ogg, Star of the Last Strike, and you're watching the Video Store Clerks Podcast. Enjoy.
Dimok. Who's the master?
My man.
Who's the master?
Sure enough.
I don't know anything about that guy.
Sure enough.
You might recognize this guy.
Hey, this is Jameson Zelander. I played Alan Frog in the movie The Lost Boys. You're watching Video Store Clerks Podcast.
Nice.
Hey.
It's a Frog Brother, man.
Hell yeah. It's the cool one. Not that other guy. So tired of seeing that other guy.
And we have one more shout out that we'll share with all you good people, being such a special night. Here we go.
Hey, it's Greg Nicotero here. You might know my work in The Walking Dead, Day of the Dead, Sin City, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. Boy, there's a lot of them, like 800 or so. Anyway, you are listening to the Video Store Clerks Podcast.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Thank you so much.
They
were so nice to take the time to give us a shout out. We appreciate it. It makes us feel good.
Oh, yeah. Yes, because they know what the best podcast in the galaxy is.
Right?
The Schwartz.
May the Schwartz be with you.
May the Schwartz be with you. Once again.
Is it time?
It's time. Let's do it.
It's time. Spaceballs, 100th episode, Mel Brooks.
But
take one. Well, we only get one take because we're live.
We only ever do one take anyway.
Nice. Sorry, I sounded like Borat when I did that.
You did.
I'm sorry about that. I apologize.
You're forgiven. Just don't ever fucking do it again.
Yes.
Ever do it again.
Wow. 1987, Spaceballs. I remember going to see this movie like it was fucking last week. Which is crazy. Like, why do I remember these things? I don't know.
Because this is a classic film.
And my mom told me I had to go see it. You got to go see Spaceballs because it's like Star Wars. It's like Star Wars, so you got to go see it. So I had no. And then my dad ended up taking me, which was weird. I don't know what happened there, but I had no idea it was a comedy. And he was reading the scroll off to me, and he got to the part where if you can read this, you don't need glasses. And I thought he was fucking with me. And then it goes to the part where the ship is with the Jaws theme is going by for like 30 seconds, however long it was. And I remember like getting impatient about it. I was like, start the movie already. What the hell? And then I slowly like realized what the movie was.
Yeah.
And loved it ever since. And Rick Moranis, I think this is my favorite Rick Moranis role.
Oh yeah.
He did a lot of fun movies, but yeah, this one
sticks out. I mean, it's just I'm surrounded by assholes. Like that whole scene. Like when me and Dax were watching it earlier, like he'd seen it a long ass time ago, never really remembered. We're like 10 minutes in the movie. He goes, "This movie is pretty funny," and I was like, "Dude, it's not even started yet." And when it got to that scene, he was like, "That's their names." I was like, "Yeah, this movie's ridiculous." I told you. And like the whole thing with the jam, he's like, "Why is there blood?" I was like, "It's not blood." I was like, "Just pay attention to the jokes, kid." He got it. He thought it was hilarious. And I remember when I was a kid, I didn't see it in theaters. I think it was on HBO, and my dad taped it. And because my dad, I think my dad was kind of a Mel Brooks fan, kind of. And it was on HBO, and I can't remember if he showed it to me or if I watched it without them being like the folks knowing. But like I fell in love with it. I thought it was just so damn funny. Like it just was like the perfect thing because like I wasn't that big of a Star Wars guy. I had a bunch of friends that were like huge on Star Wars, and I could give a fuck less. Now, I mean, I watched them and they were all right and everything, but I didn't care. The thing that made me want to see it was when it was like, oh, it's basically making fun of Star Wars, and I was like, all right, I'm sold. And I watched it and I loved it. And then and then when it was on video, Jesus Christ, when it was on video, I used to rent it from the library. God, I'm so old. Like they used to have the old because they had the old school Star Wars cases, the old VHS, like the ones that like everybody wants to get for the collection regardless. And they would always have Spaceballs hidden somewhere in there because, and I used to switch up the movies all the time. But I rented Spaceballs from there all the time. And sorry, I'm having a complete like God, like that was a long time ago moment.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just and so like I told Dax tonight, I was like, hey, I need to rewatch this movie. It's been a couple of years. We're watching it tonight, or we're talking about it tonight on the podcast, and you're gonna love it. And that's all there is to it. And it was great watching him cracking up at moments that I remember as a kid that I just thought were like even now, like I should think some of this shit is just so stupid. but like I still owe their cackling like a banshee. You know what I mean? Like it's or like a hyena, and it's just I don't know. It's one of the greatest comedies of all time, and it goes back to the whole parodies and stuff. A lot of them from that time period are great. Going back to like Naked Gun and all that shit. Yeah. Sorry, I'm rambling. I do. This is a favorite non-horror film of mine.
In my opinion, this is the best parody movie ever done. It can't be topped. I mean,
I don't know how. Yeah.
Like Star Wars, obviously, like Jaws, Star Trek, Wizard of Oz, Indiana Jones. I'm sure I'm forgetting some. Planet of the Apes, Alien.
That part threw Dax off real quick. That part
did?
threw Dax off because we turned around because he walked into the kitchen for a minute. I was like, well, I can put it on pause. And he walks out and the screen, like, all of a sudden it's Planet of the Apes. He goes, why
Did
are
you
those
change the movie?
Why are those monkeys? Yeah, he was like, why are there monkeys that are talking? I was like, that's the Planet of the Apes. I was like, wait, the movie's not over with. He was like, oh,
Transformers. That's another one. I'm sure I'm forgetting some. I think I was like 8 different movies they reference, and I'm sure there's more I'm forgetting. And that, like, the special effects that George Lucas's team actually did.
Industrial Light and Magic.
What was about? They said Mel Brooks, kind of like what they're doing on our Stranger Things meets Hellraiser. Men in Tights. That's another good one.
Oh yeah.
Young Frankenstein.
Oh yeah. See, that's and the thing is, though, I mean, again, yeah, Mel Brooks is the king of it. He's the king of parody films. I mean, people that love those fucking scary movies, like movies and all that shit or whatever. Like, this is where it all started. Is from Mel Brooks making some of the most ridiculous movies that we just can't help but to love. Crazy character.
I can't breathe in this thing. What the hell am I looking at? Hello, Tamara.
Hi, Tamara. Welcome aboard.
Is it Tamara?
You're in for a treat tonight.
Tamara and Michelle. They have a new channel up, the Horse Chakra. If you want to check it out,
we love your channel. We've been following you since we met at the convention that time.
Yeah.
Yes.
So thank you for the love. Sending it back to you. Yeah, we never did get it. I watched like reaction videos to this, and I think every video I watched, someone asked, "Was there a Spaceballs 2?" Because there's a scene where they reference it, Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money, but it never happened. I guess it never will, which is probably for the best. But it just seems like one of those things where not everybody could get on the same page. Rick Moranis actually pitched an idea. He was going to call it Spaceballs 3, The Search for Spaceballs 2, which I thought was hilarious.
That's kind of what Thanksgiving did.
Love you too.
Oh my gosh, yes. And the special effects, like those cones look amazing. And the detail on the ship and the combs and the costumes and everything, it's like this shit is damn near perfect. This is like a perfect movie. And I can't pick a favorite scene. There's just no way.
No.
And that's the good thing. That's the good thing about this is like they went all out. All the effects, everything looks so like it would be in a regular film, not a spoof film. So it makes it that much better. Yep, that's their channel right there. If you guys want to check out Tamara and Michelle over on the Horror Chakra, they got a new channel up where they're doing parodies themselves, Stranger Things and Hellraiser. But that's what's so cool about it is Mel Brooks went to the lengths to make it, seem like a high budget film, but you're spoofing it at the same time. So that's the beauty of it is you're paying homage to these films, but at the same time you're making fun of them.
No. Well, I mean, it's just kind of like when you watch movies that aren't supposed to be funny, and you find those moments where you're like, "This is kind of funny if they were talking about this," or I do that all the time with movies that are way too serious. I started doing that as a kid, and I'm pretty sure it was to like hold back like those really sad scenes where I'm like I could almost cry. But instead, I'm going to make fun of them loudly.
And it's so self-aware. I mean, it doesn't just like break the fourth wall. It shatters that shit. I've never seen a movie go to the lengths that Spaceballs did to break down that fourth wall. And there's several scenes with it, but the best one is when they pop in the video cassette.
Yep.
That is good shit. We could probably do the whole scene.
Where are they?
What the hell am I looking at?
Let's put it in Spaceballs, the cassette.
Now, sir, you're looking at now.
Everything that happens now happens
It's happening now.
What happened then? We passed that just now. We're at now.
What happened to then? See, now I
go back. No, you can't.
Yeah, that's it.
What will then be now?
Soon.
How soon? Oh my gosh, such a clever scene. You know, it's like it's a futuristic concept because they're saying instant cassettes, you know, and he's like, nah. And it's so funny and so clever. And that's the beauty of this film is that it combines that satire and that clever comedy in such a perfect way that you can't stop laughing at all the silly, goofy shit that's going on.
Yeah,
it's like, you know, Rick Moranis and George Weiner. Every time they're on the screen, is just gold.
Perfect together. Like,
yeah, they're every single scene. Oh my god, so good.
I mean, like when he says, "What's the matter, Colonel Sanders?" Chicken. And he's just he's so insecure. He's like, prepare ship. And that's another great scene is the ludicrous speed. I mean, there's so many. Yeah, and little things like that, like the Perrier.
Yeah.
Yeah, the attention to detail when it comes to the props and everything like that. You know, if you'll pick up everything if you pay attention. Like they'll have Spaceballs, the placemat, Spaceballs, the shaving cream. Like everything, you know, is based off the whole
flamethrower.
Yeah, the merchandising.
Yeah,
and that's just even like little bits that go throughout the film that you can laugh at every time you see it, and you'll pick up something every time you rewatch it. You're like, oh, there's something I didn't see before.
Yeah, and George Lucas said that was the best part of the movie for him because he told him like he couldn't have any Spaceballs merchandise because it looked like Star Wars shit. Yeah. Then whenever he saw that little like merchandising gimmick in the movie, he's like, that was my favorite scene. He's like, that shit was too funny.
It's good that he had a sense of humor for that because like Lucas has a tendency of not having a sense of humor with certain things.
I mean, he like helped Mel Brooks out with a lot of the shit on this movie.
Yeah, which I think is kind of funny because I mean, like, anytime anybody's ever criticized him over anything Star Wars or, you know, talk show hosts and stuff like that, like, it's very picky about what he thinks is actually funny. And a lot of talk show hosts have gone too far, which is why he's never usually on any talk shows.
Right. Yeah, and Mel Brooks said, you know, once he had the script, they sent it over to Lucas first thing to see if he had any issues with anything, and he said no. He's like, you know, don't change anything. I trust your judgment. You know, he was a big fan of Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein, and all that. So he gave him his blessing almost immediately, which is very cool.
I think if Mel Brooks
sequel, I don't think Disney will be as cool as George Lucas was.
No, I think that Mel Brooks is like it's like if Mel Brooks like parodies your movie, it's kind of like Weird Al. You know, it's an honor. Yeah, it's like one of those things. Like, all right, cool. You know, just don't make it about food. That was what Kurt Cobain said when, you know, Weird Al did that one song. Smells
and
like
the Michael Winslow scene always cracks me up. Pretty much anything Dark Helmet ends because he's just so annoyed. He's so irritated all the time.
Some of my favorite scenes.
Because when Michael Winslow, it cracks me up every time. I'm trying to rain, sir. I'm trying to rain, sir. Now what is it?
You don't need that. We're right here. And it's so funny in that scene because as soon as Rick Moranis grabs the radio out of his hand and throws it, you can hear Michael Winslow laughing when he delivers the line. When he goes, "I'm having trouble with the radar, sir," and you can hear him laughing. That's how funny it is because they had so much fun making this film, and were just cracking up the whole time. They went through so many rolls of film, because they would just blow so many takes by laughing and having a good time. So whenever you're making a comedy, that if you and the crew can't stop laughing while you're making it, then it's something special.
Right. What cracked me up was I like the scenes with President Scrooge. What is it?
Scroob.
I always thought it was Screwed, and watching I was like, Scroob. Okay. Dax's reaction to the whole trouble they were having teleporting him, and it cracked me up that he actually because I don't know, it's just one of those moments where like my kid, I was like, he's actually catching on to things, and he just thinks certain things are kind of stupid. And he's like, what? But like he thought it was funny when his butt's up front, and all that shit, and it was kind of funny.
It's but then backwards.
They're like, well, we can get you back here, and he's like, no, I'll just walk. And then when he opens the door and goes there, Dax just looks at me. He's like, huh? I was like,
I'll have Scotty beam you down, sir.
Scotty beat me twice last night. It was wonderful.
Oh yeah. Like, give her a cigarette.
Why didn't anybody tell me my ass was so big?
I'm Marlene. I'm Charlene.
I'm Charlene.
I told you to never call him. I'm in the bathroom.
Chew your gum.
I had to explain that one to Dax too. I used to have these commercials for Double Mint gum, and they always had twins because it was double. I don't know, were those girls actually in those commercials, or is it just because they were twins?
They're just twins.
I don't think. I think they were just twins.
Yeah, but there was certain things in the movie I didn't have to. Dax picked up on pretty quick. There was a couple of things I didn't want to explain to him, but I did tell him, I was like, there is some stuff in this movie, but I was like your age, if not a little younger, when I saw it. So enjoy.
Yeah, right. I was real young when I first saw it, so a lot of I didn't know what a virgin alarm was, and stuff like that went over my head because I had never seen Alien before, so that reference went over my head. And,
I remember how awesome it was when I finally saw Alien, though, and I picked up where that came from, because when I was like, hey, that guy looks really familiar. The whole movie, I'm like, that looks really familiar. Like, I can't think what. And then that scene happened, and I was like, that's the guy from Spaceballs. It's just like that bottom line is probably one of my favorite scenes, just because Dax cracked up at it too. It's just because you don't expect. He just pulls out a hat and, hello, my honey, hello, my baby. It's just, hello, my right check, please.
Well, it's funny because they said whenever dude got to set that day, they had no idea, he had no idea what he was doing, and then he gets on there and he's looking around, and they're like, all right, so this is what's going to happen, and he was like, all right, sweet.
It's just a clever scene.
They're going to recreate that scene.
It's so clever. It just really is. You know what I mean? It's just because it's one of those things, because you pick up and you're like, oh, it is that guy, and then him just saying, oh no, not again. And it's just yes. But yeah, as a kid and finally seeing Alien after seeing that one first, I made me even love that scene even more.
What did he order? That's what I ordered.
Again, you are perfect. You are perfect as this. It really works.
And I don't know if you ever picked up on this. Whenever they're at that diner in that scene, whenever it's the wide shot outside of the diner, and you can see all the spaceships around, the Millennium Falcon is actually sitting on their park there. So that's a cool little reference, Easter egg.
Oh, that was a reference to our show. One thing I did notice, I think for the first time ever tonight when I watched it for the 20th time, however many times the last couple weeks, the scene with the stunt doubles?
Yeah.
Well, the same character that did Bill Pullman's stunt double shows up again just for a second when him and Helmet are fighting.
Whenever he drops the ring down the fucking little shaft or whatever, he bends over to pick it up, and whenever he stands back up, it's clearly the stunt double guy.
No,
and when he's dodging the beams or whatever, it's him again. And I don't think I ever caught that before tonight.
I don't think I've ever caught that. I think I'm too busy watching everything else that's going on to not even not pick. That's okay. It's funny because I can pick out when it's not Arnold Schwarzenegger in Terminator 2 really easy, but I can't pick out.
Oh yes.
You know what I mean?
And that's the great thing is you can pick up on little things every time you watch it. Like whenever I went back and watched it for this, because I've seen it a million times, probably. You know, not a million, but I mean, so many times. I never realized whenever he goes to the self-destruct button and he goes into that chamber, there's a sign that says no unauthorized or authorized personnel.
So nobody's allowed to enter.
Yeah.
Something else I didn't realize about people that were in this movie. I did not realize that the dude that played Art in The Burbs was in this movie.
And they beat the shit out of us too.
Yeah, like today was the first time I've ever noticed that was him, and I love The Burbs. I don't know how I didn't pick up on his voice. I think I've heard his voice before, but I just never really. I don't know. I don't know. It was just kind of crazy. I was like, oh shit, Art, because that's all I remember him as.
Rick DeCommon.
That's pretty good for Rambo.
He shot
Mike. Mike, I gotta say though, like for some reason, like you remind me of him, like a lot sometimes.
Who? Art?
Art. Like I feel like he would be the Art.
What is that supposed to mean?
Nothing bad. It's just I don't know. Everybody reminds me of somebody. You remind me of Art. It's better than I'm sure it could be worse.
He called me Johnny Knoxville one time. So.
Who? Me?
Yeah.
I mean, you're right. Yeah. Chad's like a white ice cube. There's no other way around it. And like,
see, everybody says that.
Like seriously, I watched an interview with Ice Cube the other day, and I was just like, you just cut his fucking hair off and just bleach his fucking skin. It's fucking Chad. But whatever, So I mean, I've gotten Uncle Festered Penguin my whole life. Okay, so I don't want to hear it.
Penguin
Art's
Fester?
okay.
I will take Art.
Who do we remind you of? Let us know in the comments. Yeah. Should I have said that? I don't know. Ask the internet and you shall receive.
No, like you guys were saying, that like straight from the jump, this fucking movie just has you laughing as soon as the first scene comes around and you just see Darth Helmet.
Yeah. I mean, even the opening when it's scrolling and you're reading that and you actually pick up on it, you're just like, this is going to be great.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, when it opens with that shot of Spaceball 1 and it just goes on and on and on. We break for nobody. It's just so over the top. But it's like I said, it's that blend of silliness and clever comedy that makes you just love every minute of it.
Yeah. Like Mel Brooks is like the more expensive Lloyd Kaufman in a lot of ways. Like it's like they're both very similar how they are in interviews and kind of goofy and shit like that. But like, it's true. They kind of both there's similarities.
I'm just saying.
But yeah, I don't know. There was somewhere I was going with that.
They look like they could be related.
They do, yeah, they really do. But they just their styles are very similar too in ways. Just that, Lloyd Kaufman's a little more extreme. Fucking now I'm gonna go fucking unalive myself. Thanks, guys. Thanks, that was a great idea. Thanks for doing that.
Make some mashed potatoes.
Really? Jesus Christ! I was starting to get I was starting to get my mojo back, but now like self-esteem's done.
My cousin just called you cabin boy.
God damn it! I do not. I look better than that guy. Please tell me
you do, Joe. You do. I found old episodes of Get a Life on YouTube. That shit was horrible.
Get Alive.
That started that dude. It came on Fox for like 1 or 2 seasons.
Well, don't watch it now. Watch it after.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because we're
spoilers
on now.
But this is a movie, and it goes by so quick too. Like I've been watching this movie over and over again.
Oh boy.
I'm so sorry.
All right then. Well, hi guys. I hate that guy so much.
What was his name? Chris Elliott? Was that his name?
Yes. Yes.
You don't look like Chris Elliott.
Fucking running.
I don't see it.
Let's take a look.
He built a submarine in the bathroom.
Oh no! Too late now. No, the damage is done.
No, let's take a look. Chuck, can you put your hand up?
Really? That's the one you're going to choose?
Can you put your hand up to your mouth?
It. Shut the fuck up. I'm done with this. Moving on. God,
you look nothing like that guy, Chuck.
Yeah, I kind of see it.
No, you don't. Don't look for something that isn't there. Oh, look.
It's all fun and games. I know I'm hideous. Anyway, go on. I fully accept it.
Yeah, let's not forget about George Weiner being in this movie.
Dude.
This guy is still working. He's, I mean, my God, he's got like a Sam Jackson type resume.
Yeah, he's in fucking everything.
Yeah, he did like a fair amount of movies, but he's done a ton of television going back to the 70s. And he's been in like every hit show that there is, like MASH, fucking All in the Family. I think he did something just as recent as 2023 last year.
Oh, yeah.
He's one of those you don't even realize he's in a lot of these movies. And you're like, oh, shit, it's that guy.
Yeah, he gets cast as a doctor a lot, I noticed.
Because he kind of looks like a doctor.
He does kind of look like a doctor.
He looks like a doctor or a lawyer, and he plays those too. Wasn't he the killer in that fucking Steven Seagal movie?
Ooh, was it?
He killed he shoots at the guy in the church. Isn't that him? I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was because I think he had issues with because the scene he said that Steven Seagal didn't want to kill him because he was in the middle of his whole like I don't want violence in my movies or I don't want people dying in my movies.
I remember hearing that.
And they originally they had to do this take like a bunch of times or some shit because Steven Seagal was like, no, what if I just arrest him and then and it was like, nope, wait, and then Duder was just like, no, just shoot me, just kill me so we can get this over with. Like, right? I would hate to work with Steven Seagal. Jesus Christ. Anyway, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's that guy. Yeah,
I don't know. But dude, fucking George Weiner, man, he kills as Colonel Sanders, man. Oh my God, he just he's the second banana to Rick Moranis's character, but I mean they are just so perfect together, and the way he plays off Moranis, oh my gosh. Coming right up.
1 second.
Fooled you.
Another great scene that we quote a lot.
Oh my gosh, this film, I think I don't know if there's any other film that I quote as much as Spaceballs. Maybe Super Troopers. It's tough.
Yeah, I mean, we were just talking about the other day. Like that's all we usually did. Like even like a lot of my old passwords and shit that I would use forever ago. Like I'm pretty sure were Spaceballs related.
No,
that's hilarious.
And it was all just movie quotes.
One I quote a lot that a lot of times people don't get. I'll say like, if I walk, the movie will be over. And everyone just looks at me.
You know, one I say all the time, oddly enough, and it's probably not even one of the more popular lines, but I always say, "Welcome to real life." I don't know why. I just love when he says that to Princess Vespa, because when they're carrying the fucking the industrial strength hairdryer,
you pick it up,
and I can't live without it.
Oh man, such an amazing.
I always like whenever they take it out, and then fucking Bill Pullman's like, "It's a lot lighter, huh?" And fucking Barb's like, "Oh yeah, I could carry like 2 or 3 of these."
I like when he's trying to get old dude to read the medallion, and what's it saying? He's like, ah. He's like, "Oh no, just clearing my throat," or whatever he says.
Oh, that reminds me. And stay tuned, too, because Barf is going to open this fortune cookie that Yogurt gave us.
Oh.
We'll do that at the end.
Nice.
Remember, open it before you eat it.
You're supposed to open it after you eat.
You just eat it.
Just eat it.
It's like I know we're jumping around, but man, it's just like I said,
it's hard.
You can't pick one favorite scene out of this movie. And the ludicrous speed scene. Oh my gosh, I've just been looking at that.
Buckle this. Ludicrous speed. Go. My brains are going into my feet.
What have I done?
Stop
this thing.
We have to slow it down first.
George Weiner. I can't stop. It's too dangerous.
I don't know why he did that voice, but God, it was perfect.
Oh my gosh.
I wish we could actually show the whole fucking movie on here.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
just sit and watch it with you guys. I wish. Oh my gosh. But yeah, George Weiner,
It really is
man.
hard to pick a favorite scene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't.
Every like little thing that George Weiner does, I like. Even at the opening scene, whenever Dark Helmet comes and the guy is like, "Oh, I already called President Scrooby knows everything." He's like, "You went over my helmet," and he gets the ring, and he starts shooting at him. And while he's shooting that guy in the balls with the ring, George Weiner just looking away, and he's just like, like making this face. Like, and then later on, this is one of my favorite parts, is after the raspberry, and Rick Moranis is, he like tastes it, and he's like, there's only one person who would give me the raspberry, and he's like George Weiner is looking down at his finger with the raspberry, and he puts his hand on George Weiner's chest, and the camera is coming in, and George Weiner turns his head and looks at the camera, and he's like, and backs off. It's just those little things that make it so perfect. Oh my gosh!
They did that with Helmet, with Lord Helmet too, and Dax started cracking up laughing.
Yeah, because then the camera comes in, then hits him, and he
hits
falls.
him.
Yeah,
and to an 11-year-old kid that's hyperactive, like he thought that was the greatest thing.
I do too. I like, no matter how many times I see it, like I still laugh.
Breaking that fourth, so many times they break that fourth wall. You know, it's like, you know, even at the beginning, once they tell you everything that's going on, you know, Rick Moranis looks towards the camera and he's like, "Everybody got that?" You know, and then later on, whenever they're having the scene where Lone Star and Dark Helmet are fighting, and he swings the saber and hits the crew guy.
I bust out laughing every time on that part.
He's like, "He did it." What?
Mine's bigger than yours. What does he say to him? He's like, I'm your father's brother's
cousin's former roommate.
What does that make us?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing, which is what you're about to become.
But then my favorite one is, evil will always triumph because good is dumb.
I'm gonna have to put that as an intro in one of my books. I'm just gonna have that line in there. It's got to be. It's gonna be great.
If there's anything I despise, it's a fair fight. Put her there. The ring. Oh, I can't believe you fell for it. It's the oldest trick in the book. What's with you, man?
And the part where he's playing with the dolls. And, like, I did not see you playing with your dolls again. Good.
Wasn't that ad lib? Didn't he just do that on the spot?
I think so.
I feel like I've heard that somewhere. Yeah.
It's like, man, that's the kind of movie you want to work on, where you're just having fun and the director lets you kind of cut loose and
do whatever the fuck you want.
Just do whatever.
Just be funny.
You got so many great comedic actors there. You know, John Candy.
Yeah, man.
Gosh, you can't say enough about this guy.
What up, Ryan?
What up, Ryan?
But yeah, there was one part whenever Barf goes to get up and he's still got the seatbelt on, and he's like, "Oh, that's gonna leave a mark." John Candy ad-libbed that line, and
nice.
Mel Brooks loved it. So, you know, when you got actors that are so good, because I mean, whenever Rick Moranis came on, I think he was the one that pretty much sold Brooks on having John Candy.
Indeed.
it was such a great choice. You know, everybody in this film nails their part. You know, there's not one single person that doesn't toe the line, and that's what makes it so great. I mean, even Daphne Zuniga. I mean, she's done stuff, but it's like all I know her from is Spaceballs, pretty much. And
who's that?
Princess Vespa.
That's what. Okay, yeah, I've seen her in a bunch of different stuff, but Spaceballs is the only movie that I would think of. Although I think I was watching it, I was trying to think of all the other stuff I've seen her in, and the only other thing that comes to mind is like I think wasn't she like in Californication for a minute?
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure.
Remember what season? I used to love that show.
I did too.
I want to say that she was in it a few times off and on, but one particular one was an embarrassing scene at another person's house and a painting. And I can't.
I used to love that show though.
Oh, dude, yeah, it's one of my favorites of all time. Can relate.
I don't know if she was in that. She was in like One Tree Hill and Melrose Place.
Yeah, Melrose Place. I always forget about that one. I never watched that one.
Every time I hear Daphne Zuniga, I immediately think of her in Spaceballs, and she plays it straight. And you know, being a person that really doesn't have a comedic background, she's great. You know, the way she plays off Bill Pullman and everything. You know, like I said, there is no weak link in this film.
Bill Pullman, like he didn't really do much comedic stuff back then either, did he?
No.
Yeah, he was unknown when he came on to this. I think Mel Brooks saw him in a play or something because he wanted to get a big name. He was talking about like Tom Cruise and Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks maybe might have worked, but Cruise wouldn't. 1987, Tom Cruise wouldn't have worked. I don't think.
I don't think any of them. I don't think either one of those guys would have worked. I think it was just. I can't imagine. But then you know, how do you imagine anybody else playing these roles because they are so fucking perfect? You know, it's impossible. And I really do like. All the characters, all the actors are great, but man, like, all the scenes with Sanders and Helmet are probably they've got to be. But you know, again, it also goes down to like this movie's one big great scene. So it's like it is really hard to pinpoint. But some of the ones that immediately popped in my head are the ones that Helmet's and stuff.
Yeah, Mel Brooks said he saw Bill Pullman in Ruthless People. That's where he originally saw him.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
And then he went and Pullman was doing a play at the time.
I haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah, me either.
I don't know.
Because as a kid, the video cassette always caught my eye because they had the Donald Duck mask on.
Yeah.
So I was always like, "What's that movie?"
What's
and
that
my
about?
parents were like, "No, you can't watch that."
What is this movie called?
Ruthless People.
It's been a long time.
That's an old movie.
It would have been weird seeing this with nobody else because I think didn't we say that Steve Martin was supposed to be Colonel Sanders?
Oh, that's right.
But he had a schedule conflict.
I could almost see that, but again,
like, I mean, I wouldn't change it at all.
No,
not at all. This movie is damn near perfect. It might.
I'd
think
say
it is
perfect.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, okay. While he's looking down at his crutch. Yes.
Oh, there you are. Hello, buddy.
Yes, that is herpes.
No, I'm looking at my phone, jackasses.
Oh,
because with Danny DeVito and shit. I don't remember shit about this movie, but I do remember seeing this movie. But I don't know if I've ever actually seen it. That's funny. I feel like I need to see it. I mean, Danny DeVito, especially back in those days. But anyway.
Sorry, I got distracted.
And one of the people who get the least amount of credit on this film, who definitely deserves a shout out, is Lorene Yarnell Jansen, who plays Dot Matrix, who's actually the person in the suit. Because everybody hears the voice and they think, oh, it's Joan Rivers. But no, this Lorene Jansen woman was the actual person in the suit the whole time. And they ended up going back and recording all the voiceover stuff with Joan Rivers. So Lorene Jansen does not give enough credit because I think they said that she was actually a mime, and then that's why she like was so good at all the mannerisms and everything of a robot whenever they actually put her into the suit. And especially whenever they went out to Arizona to film the scene where they're in the desert and it was just boiling hot and she was in that suit and just like dripping sweat and just totally miserable. She doesn't get enough credit in this film because she's like, if you mention her name, people are like, who the hell are you talking about? But she was Dot Matrix. So, of course, Joan Rivers' voice is iconic and everything like that. But she did all the heavy lifting for Dot Matrix.
Yeah, helmets off to her. Yeah, see, that was something else that was funny when I was a kid was when I figured out because my mom, I think it was my mom or dad, it was mom that pointed out that Joan Rivers was the one that did the voice for her. Because I was watching this, we were watching something. I'm pretty sure it was my mom. And I heard the voice, and I'm like, this whole woman sounds like the robot on Spaceballs. Mom's like, there's a good reason for that. And I was like, she's like, because it is.
Surprise!
Oh, okay. All right, that's interesting.
They said they had like 6 Dot suits made, and they had to use them all because they kept breaking.
Oh, wow. Yeah, the effects and the costumes and everything in this movie, like it's like this movie can't be topped as far as parodies go. I don't think it'll ever be topped.
Yeah.
I think they said they had it took one guy to work each one of Barf's ears. Mm-hmm. And then for them to have the tail move, John Candy had a little thing in his palm of his hand and he'd squeeze it and then his tail would flicker.
Oh, I want one of those.
And they said he had to wear a 30-pound battery pack on his back for everything to keep working.
Never mind.
Yeah. Well, that was back in '87, so
right. Now it'd just be
you probably get something a lot better now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the size of a cell phone.
Don't worry, Dave. I'm sure we can find something to make your tail wag.
Okay.
I've never. It's like, oh, I want one of those. But how many times do you have a tail to do that? But thinking about that, I'm sure you'd pretty much figure out something.
So sorry, honey, it's got a mind of its own.
You can make people believe that you're turning into a werewolf.
Oh,
let's go to somebody's house. I don't know what's going on.
Thomas Wolf.
It's a dog. It's a dog.
Oh,
half man, half dog. He's his own best friend.
Candy was really good at the canine aspect of how he acted too. Because when the moment where I think it's where he's on top of he's getting ready to get the princess and whatever in their thing, and he's waiting for him, and he's just and he's he actually sounds like a whining dog because at the same time that he was doing that, my dog was wanting to go out. Oh. And I was like, he's just I don't know.
Can I just say that at that scene, at that point in the movie, John Kander delivers probably the most profound line in cinema history when he says, "I'm my own best friend."
Oh yeah, yeah. He's like, "Yeah, I'm my own best friend." This is oh,
it's like, wow.
Well, that was one of the things. Whenever they got Candy for this role, he was saying that he wanted more of a dog prosthetic face to have. And Mel Brooks was like, no, we're paying all this money to have John Candy in our film. We want to be able to see John Candy. Right. And they came up with the idea to just give him that little spot on his face, and it worked out good. And then the ears, obviously. So
you look great, man.
Yeah.
You all look great.
And the funny part is whenever he climbs down into the Mercedes and opens it, and they're in space, right? And nobody is wearing any kind of space suit. They're just going around oh, no big deal.
It's not 1 million below zero up there or anything.
Yeah, you don't need oxygen.
As long as you hold on to the ladder, you should be fine.
I mean, they might have a fake little force field thing. I don't know,
because there's gravity too. Maybe it's that's it. They were in the force field, so the force field had gravity and oxygen.
Perhaps. All those things. Stop looking up my can. Sorry. Just so many lines. Everything is so good.
Nice dissolve. Yeah. Every time I see a dissolve in a movie, I say that.
That shit cracks me up.
Oh man!
I told you we should have put more than $5 in.
Because they're out of gas. Let's not forget about the Winnebago.
Right.
So good.
With the I Love Uranus bumper sticker.
Or the Spaceballs we break for no one.
We break for nobody.
Yeah, I don't think Nice Dissolve I got when I was a kid either because I didn't know what Dissolve was.
Right.
No, that's movie stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What?
I always think about the fucking Michael Winslow scene when he leaps over the desk and throws. Now what is it? He just played it so good because he was so annoyed, like
with the beeps and the creeps.
Can I
scowl on his face.
Can I talk to you for a minute, please, sir? And then Rick Moranis just seems so annoyed. Like this guy is bugging him. Like what the hell is this guy's deal? And he goes, I lost the bleeps, I lost the sweeps, and I lost the creeps. The what? You know, the bleep. And Michael Winslow, man, obviously everybody knows him from Police Academy, and his part in this film was so small, but it's just so memorable. Him being able to do the sound effects and everything. It's like even whenever the screen is going out and it cuts to the static, and you see the shot is the static, and you hear it and you think it's a static, like where it's shit, but it's him making the noise. He's just an amazing voice actor, and being able to do all those sound effects is incredible.
They said using him for that scene, they saved like $2,000 on fucking special effects sounds.
Yeah, why doesn't everybody hire him?
Right.
It's so good.
Another scene, going back to the asshole scene, it always throws me off. And Dax again got it because it threw him off too. When they're shooting at the Mercedes or whatever the hell it is, and he's like, well, I said shoot around him, blah, blah. And then the guy raises his eye. He's like, I'm sorry, I didn't like it.
That's a great one too. Oh my god!
Like
yes.
It's just like every time, like you kind of almost forget about it, and it just throws you off. And the other guy's like, I'm sorry, he's my cousin, sir, or whatever. They're like,
by your nose, not up it.
Yeah, because when he
he's an
fire
asshole.
a warning shot across her nose. I said across her nose, not up it.
Sorry, sir. Who made this man a gunner?
He's like,
I did, sir. He's my cousin.
He's an asshole, sir. I know that. What's his name?
Yeah,
that is his name.
He's an asshole.
Lieutenant Asshole. Philip Asshole.
How many
Keep
assholes?
firing, assholes.
He's like, how many assholes do we have here, or whatever? And they're all like, I, or whatever the fuck. Yo, yeah. Fucking funny as shit.
Said, man, this whole movie, beginning to end, it's just
too good.
It's too good.
It's just it's one of those movies that like I don't do it much anymore, but back in the day, if I was like needing to pick me up, just feel like shit. Like this is a great movie to make you just forget about serious bullshit for a little while. I mean, because how can you watch this movie and not crack up laughing? You know what I mean?
Well, we haven't talked about Pizza the Hut.
Keep firing, assholes.
What do we have on this thing? A Cuisinart? So pissed.
No, sir. Oh my gosh! Everything.
Pizza the Hut.
Pizza the Hut.
One of the grossest fucking characters.
It really is.
You're just like, oh my god, you're worse than fucking actual like Jabba.
I was gonna say, who do you think is more gross, Jabba or Pizza?
Was that
Pizza.
John DeLuise?
He did the voice,
right?
Yeah. There's somebody else in the costume.
That's okay, yeah.
And they were using like real pizza and cheese and everything like that.
It's just like,
really?
They caught on fire one day.
You taste so good.
Yeah, they constructed this whole gimmick for the guy, and he's wearing it, and they had a wire built into it where it was heating up the stuff and making it melt in real time.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
and the guy in the costume all of a sudden started making all these noises like smoke, and the guy who plays Vinny that's sitting right next to him looks down and there's smoke coming out, and the thing was like starting to catch on fire. He's like, Mel, fire.
He was literally cooking pizza.
I wondered what they used for that, but you're telling me they actually used pizza, like pizza. Man, I bet that
sauce and cheeses.
Yeah, as a kid, that scene was like really just. It made me not want to eat pizza for a minute. I'm just like, oh, because it just looks so gross. And like Dax kind of thought the same thing too. He's like, oh, and I was like, yeah, he's kind of nasty.
So it's probably for the best that we actually didn't see the scene where he ate himself to death.
Oh yeah.
In the back of his
he locked himself in his car.
He ate himself to death.
You're delicious,
fuck.
I'm just glad that I didn't. For a little known fact, I was originally going to try to do that costume, and the ideas that were popping in my head, not good. So that's why I'm not because like I don't. Because
after the show.
Yeah, like no, like yeah, because I don't know for that right there, just like the disgusting.
Like how much pizza did they use?
10 pizzas.
Was it really 10? Or
no.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, him and Vinny. It's because it obviously it's a play on Pizza Hut, but it's a play on Jabba the Hutt. It's so good.
Clever.
I'll just turn it to audio so they don't see you. Oh, wrong switch. $1 million. That's unfair.
$1 million
space to the pay. Unfair to the payor, not to the payee. You're gonna pay it, or else pizza's gonna send out for you. Ciao, boys. You're delicious, boss. So many just little things. Those little scenes. We were talking about Winslow. We talked about Vinny and Pizza Hut. Even the guy Tim Russ, who plays the Spaceball out in the desert with a comb. Where he goes, "Found anything yet? We ain't found shit." Just that one line. He even says in interviews, he's like, I did years on like Star Trek and all these other TV shows, but everybody just remembers that one clip of me saying 4 words, and it just carries on throughout his whole career. So it's just even the smallest thing is so memorable. And then what Dominic was just speaking about, the combination 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's something somebody would have on their luggage.
I thought you were going to finish it.
That's like something like idiot would have on his luggage.
And
then of course, later on when Scroob comes in, he's like, "That's remarkable. I have the same combination on my luggage." And then Moranis and Weiner just look at each other. And even I'm getting ahead of myself, but even that part, whenever they go to leave and they walk out, and as soon as Rick Moranis is getting ready to walk through the door, it closes on him. He's like, "Ah!"
just that little thing just added so much.
I don't know why either. Like when going back to the fucking sand scene, whenever they're combing the desert, fucking whenever he has the bullhorn and he's yelling at Sanders,
who's right next to him,
and he puts it down. And he's like, "Find anything yet?"
And of course, he's got a different type of helmet out when he's out in the sand.
He got the desert camo helmet on.
Yeah,
so fucking funny.
Oh, but yeah, they've kidnapped the princess, and they got Dr. Schlotkin who's gonna give her back her old nose.
No. The desert helmet is good. I love the desert helmet. They brought that in and sold it to. Well, some dude was trying to sell them a helmet to Walt Flanagan one time, one comic book man.
Oh, no shit.
The desert helmet. But the guy had no papers with it.
Oh.
That sucks.
I can only imagine there's not that many helmets out there.
I wouldn't think so either. I don't know how the fuck you'd fucking make one. I mean, I know it's possible and shit, but just try to get to like the right specs and shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
And all that goes to all that credit goes to a guy named Don Feld, who was a production designer for this film and many other Hollywood films. His name is Don Feld, just like straight up, like one word. And he passed away back in like 2009 or whatever. But he's the one who came up with all the costumes. All the stuff you see is basically
one guy.
Yeah, and if you look, his original art concepts for the outfits and everything, they pretty much are spot on. You know, he drew up all the different costumes, the Spaceballs, the dark helmet, Colonel Sanders, everybody's costumes, and had them sketched up and presented them to Mel Brooks. And Mel Brooks was like, "Great, let's just go with this." And he pretty much stuck to his original art concepts. So yeah, I mean, he's the one who created the helmet and was able to make Rick Moranis look so great in this helmet and make it manageable to where he's not like falling around or, you know, everything. You know, it's his credit that he made all these different props and everything like that in the wardrobe. So definitely props to him and his legacy.
Wow, that's wild that one guy came up with all those costumes.
Mm-hmm.
You wear it pretty good too, Mike.
Hey, thank you.
Lego helmet. More viewers.
I agree. Where are they all at? What's everybody doing?
Where are the viewers? Get their asses in here.
We got their stunt doubles.
Okay, the socks.
The socks,
yeah, the whole thing. It's great.
When they did the whole like stunt double scene, when they turned around, Dax was like, "I knew something was funny."
Compliment Chuck.
What?
Nothing.
They were the viewers were saying, "Great costume, Chuck."
What?
You can take your costume off now.
Oh. I just like pull out my flesh. Wouldn't that be fucking crazy if I could do that?
You just come out of your skin.
I've actually written a story for an anthology recently that has to do with a couple that can do that, and it just grows back.
Chuck's really a lizard person.
Listen, people.
And the part with Mel Brooks, another part with Mel Brooks is a screw at the end. When they sound the self-destruct alarm, and Sanders says, "We can't. It's irreversible." And he goes,
"Like my raincoat."
Dude,
if I had to pick one scene that's my favorite, it's the self-destruct escape scene, because you have the amazing song that's playing in the background, the Spaceballs song, and at the same time you have so much going on. Oh my God, like you said with Scroob, talking about his raincoat, like even the alarm going off, and he's like, "Where the hell are we, Paris?" And oh my gosh, everything from that scene is just perfect. And
which movie was that?
Ripping the mouth part.
I thought of Beetlejuice when he did.
Good. I love it. But yeah, that scene, the escape pods and everything, because obviously Helmet, once he got knocked back and hit the self-destruct mechanism with himself, he gets back there and they're trying to escape, and Colonel Sanders gets on the microphone and he's like, "Abandon ship," and he's like, close the 3-ring circus or whatever. Secure all the animals, all the animals in the zoo, and everybody's just, it gets pure pandemonium. Everybody's trying to escape, so they go to get to their escape pods, and of course, whenever Scroob goes up, he's like, "Where are you going?" He's like, "Pizza to go," and the guy takes off, and the shot you see where the escape pod shoots out and it looks so professional. I believe that was a shot that they were going to use in one of the Star Wars films.
It was in the New Hope.
Yeah. And they didn't end up using it. So it was like extra stuff, and they used it in this film. So that was an actual scene or shot that was made for Star Wars that they used in this. So then the escape pod shoots out, and then Dark Helmet goes to his, and he's like, "This is my escape pod. Who are you? I'm the bearded lady. What are you? One of the freaks?" And he bumps him out of the way and gets in. And I love the shot whenever their faces are in the glass watching their escape pod shoot out. And he's just, his face is right there in that glass. He's like, "Come back, you fat bearded bitch."
I always like the one where the dude sits on the bear's lap and he's fucking trying to like connect the belt, and he's just like, he jumps up and turns around and screams and runs.
Like, all right, one escape pod left and 3 of us, and I'm the president, so it's a lovely ship. I think you should go down with it, boys. And he gets, "What's wrong with this seatbelt?" Ah.
The bear waves.
And it's like, and then the woman comes on. This is your last chance to hit the cancellation button. Cancellation button, hurry! And then they just like zoom down the stairs.
They all perfect. They were right in sync with each other.
And they do the pratfall roll, and then they're like cancellation button, and he opens it up. And one of my favorite lines, he opens it up, and it has the out of order tag on it, and he goes, "Out of order? Fuck! Even in the future, nothing works."
Is that the only F-bomb Rick Moranis has ever dropped?
I don't know if it's the only one he's ever dropped. It's the only one in the film, for sure.
Movie.
Yeah.
But this was rated PG, by the way.
I mean, at one time you could do that. It's like,
I think you're allowed one F-bomb.
It's like Cuffs. It's PG-13, and they allowed fuck to be in it once.
The 80s was a different time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's perfect for this scene because it's like, the whole thing's getting ready to self-destruct. And of course, the one thing that can stop it is out of order, and the thing is, it's like something you can relate to even to this day.
I don't want to see that.
I got to fact check that one.
Pornhub.
You would think if anything,
I'm not fact checking that way.
Oh, okay.
If he was an adult film star, don't you think his name would be Rick Moranis?
Depends on what kind of film star.
But I mean, even today, whenever I get something and it doesn't work, it's like 2024. Technology should be damn near perfect, but even now in the future, nothing works.
Right.
So it's so relatable. And then obviously with the countdown that we did earlier, where she skips 7.
Apparently in the 80s, there was a guy that happened to look just like Rick Moranis who was in gay porn, and Rick Moranis used to constantly be told that it looked like him, but he was never in adult films.
Well, that's funny because wasn't it not too long ago that's like some guy robbed a place or did some kind of crime, and they looked at the surveillance video and it looked just like Rick Moranis?
What?
I think I think that was the real thing. That. And remember when Rick Moranis got like accosted on the street by some guy?
Yes, some asshole.
Oh yeah,
up in New York. He I think he was mugging Rick Moranis, and then I think he figured out who it was, and I don't know if he gave his stuff back or what, but
that prick. Because it's like he was just coming out. Because I think he did that Mint Mobile commercial with Ryan Reynolds, and I think he did something else, and it looked like he was going to come back, and then that asshole in New York hit him in the back of the head, and I think he disappeared again not long after. Right. It's like, you fucking prick. I hope you're underneath the jail.
It'd be great to see him in like a little cameo in the new fucking Ghostbusters.
That would be cool.
Bring back Lewis.
Which, I mean, at this point, I don't know why, he's hesitant to really get back into Hollywood. Props to Rick Moranis, who at the, probably arguably at the top of his career, just dipped out of Hollywood altogether.
Yeah.
His wife died of breast cancer, I believe, back in 91. And he said, I'm leaving the business and I'm going to go raise my children. And there's not a lot of people that would do that. And he was true to it. Like, he's done some little things here and there over the years, but I mean, he was huge. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, just everything. Ghostbusters, so much.
Yeah, it was like Ghostbusters, then Little Shop of Horrors, then Spaceballs, then Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and
because Honey, I Shrunk the Kids was such a huge franchise.
Yeah.
So I mean, to just walk away. I mean, I'm sure he made a pretty penny off all those films and all that, but just to walk away from that fame and everything like that, you know, it's very commendable. You know, to be like, I want to raise my children the right way. You know, they lost their mother, and I'm not going to be a part-time dad. So nothing but props to Rick Moranis. You know, not only his comedy genius, but it goes to show what type of guy he really is.
Yeah, sure,
true.
Yeah, Ghostbusters is a close second to my favorite Rick Moranis movie, and Little Shop of Horrors is probably the only musical I like.
I don't like musicals. I kind of hate them, but I mean.
That's the only one I think
I like Sweeney Todd. I think that one was all right. Yeah, with
The
Johnny
Barbara
Depp
Street.
and Alan Rickman and Helena Bonham Carter. Burton, or the fuck her name is now. Yes, that was all right. I used to like Rocky Horror Picture Show when I was younger, and then now it just annoys me. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of. Yeah, I would have to say that Little Shop of Horrors is definitely one of those exceptions as well. I was just saying.
Just saying.
What was that straight to video movie he did with Tom Arnold?
Oh, Big Bully.
Big Bully. Okay. Yeah, they showed.
I can't forget Little Giants. Him and fucking Ed O'Neill.
Oh, maybe that. No.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that movie.
Arnold.
Yeah, Big Bully.
They showed us that in shop class. Strangely, when I was in high school.
Tom Arnold bullies him all through like elementary school and middle school.
Yeah, it was that one.
Yeah, I vaguely remember it.
And that was that maybe the last movie he did? I'm not sure.
I have no idea.
I mean, like I said, he's done little things here and there. You know,
Little Giants, little things.
But I mean, as far as big production and anything goes, that was it. I remember that TV show, The Goldbergs. He did the voice of Dark Helmet. Like you reprised that for like a scene in the Goldbergs. Wow. So that was cool.
Nice.
Yeah, the animated series didn't run too long, did it? Just like a year or 2 years.
I kind of remember it. I'd have to go back and try to find it. It's on YouTube.
The only thing I never watched the Goldbergs. I watched one scene because Robert Englund was Freddy Krueger in it. That was the only thing was that show any good? Like, wasn't the chick from Reno 911 in it?
Was she the mom?
So. Yeah, I think she was the mom.
And the guy and the dad was from Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Okay.
So,
yeah,
I think it had its moments.
But yeah, this movie, the runtime for this movie is 96 minutes, and it flies by. And I could just watch it over and over again. There's not many movies I could do because I have an attention span like that. So it's really hard for me to sit through a movie, but I could sit through this movie over and over again, no problem.
Me too. I mean, I probably watch this shit at least once a week since we fucking talked about doing this for the 100th episode.
You watch it more than I did.
And that was back in like fucking November.
Last month. Oh, so yeah. I started watching it like a month ago.
I fucking love this movie.
Dick Van Patten.
Yeah.
Dick Van Patten as King Roland.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Who looks more? I never realized how much he looks like Lawler.
Jerry the King.
You can almost hear his theme music playing in the background every scene he's in.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think we really did outdo ourselves this week.
Negative.
What? It's the 100th. It's the 100th episode, so we had to go all out.
Had to.
I got a spaceship and everything.
Just like Mel Brooks went all out for this, it's our duty to go all out as well.
Even little things like we said in the diner. Rhonda Shear is one of the people in the diner.
Oh, yeah,
she's the woman.
I didn't know that was her.
I didn't realize that was her either. Huh?
And like the dinks. Whenever they're in the desert and you got all the dinks, ding ding. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Dom. I'll see you later, brother.
Oh, the clip of the week and the fortune cookie.
Yeah, I mean, even with the dinks, you have like Tony Cox from Bad Santa is one of the dinks. Ed Gale, which I'm not going to go into that, but he's one of the dinks. And
thank you so much. Love you, ladies.
Arturo Gil, Felix Silla, all the Little People actors. Some names that you would recognize. They were
yes, please.
They were the dinks.
That's another great scene because after they pass out in the desert, it just cuts. Ding, 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 ding. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because it's like some kind
Dune. You said that 3 Dunes ago.
Stand By Me.
Some kind of fucked up Seven Dwarves.
Motherfucking Jawas.
Yogurt.
I hate yogurt. Even with strawberries.
Whenever they fucking first go in there and they're like, who dares to disturb the great and almighty powerful yogurt? And they're like, yogurt? And they're like, you hiding me? And he goes fucking crawling out of his little tomb. Walking around on his fucking knees.
It's like the Temple of Doom.
Yeah, they reference the Temple of Doom.
And then Joan Rivers like, it ain't the Temple of Beth Israel. so many, obviously Mel Brooks, Jewish. He's got to have these Jewish jokes in there. Funny, she doesn't look Jewish.
Yeah,
all those.
It's so subtle. Like he just kind of just like funny. She doesn't look Jewish, and like his ears all. Like Dax was trying to figure out why that was funny, and I was like, it's a play on words. Like he's Jewish. He's like, why is that funny? I was like, it's not. Just watch it.
You'll get it in a couple of years.
Right. When you're older, you'll get the humor.
And it's another time when they look at the camera when John Candy delivers that line.
Funny. She doesn't look Jewish.
And like another thing, George Lucas said that Lone Star couldn't look like Han Solo, so he made him look like Indiana Jones instead.
Which it works, I mean, like with the Winnebago and everything too, though, because like you still get the Han Solo,
feel,
but where Harrison Ford was both,
like
it kind of works out,
And because Pullman said he'd never seen a Star Wars movie when he did this, and I think that worked out perfect because he was able to play it his own way.
Yeah.
Instead of copying Harrison Ford or Han Solo, he could do his own thing where who they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
But he's still his own character.
But he
all are.
Like he actually, that's kind of funny considering the fact that like he kind of he does a good job of being that character as if because he does give off like a Han Solo kind of thing, but again he also does the Indiana Jones kind of feeling too, and again Harrison Ford being both of them, it's just like, well, he's a good Harrison Ford. You know what I mean? Mixture of both.
And I always know Bill Pullman from. I mean, I know he's done some other good stuff, but I always
Casper was great.
Like Spaceballs.
No, Bill Pullman. Bill Pullman's actually I really like that guy a lot. He's been in
Bill Pullman's awesome. Independence Day. I mean, his credits go on and on.
Lost Highway,
Lost Highway, which is one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, Serpent in the Rainbow. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been in a shit ton of stuff.
In fact, I whenever I was up in Toronto a few years back, I ran into Bill Pullman, who was up there promoting what was it, Battle of the Sexes.
That's right, you did, yeah.
Battle of the Sexes. It was a film about tennis, and while he was there, I got to speak with him. And let me see here. This is over on my channel, Laser Trading Company, but we'll go ahead and pull it up for you guys tonight. It's him. He's signing some autographs right here, and I got to ask him about Spaceballs.
So awesome. We're all yeah, we very much.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
That first.
Spaceballs 2, are you in?
Oh my gosh, yes.
He's that one.
He was like, "Oh my god, yes."
So yeah, great guy.
Response. Yeah,
very cool. And he couldn't have been more thrilled at the idea of doing another Spaceballs film. Like you say, absolutely, he's in. Just say the word and he would be there. So very cool dude. And it's a shame because Spaceballs 2, the search for more money, probably will never get made. and I don't even know if it should. No John Candy.
I don't either.
No Joan Rivers. It's past the point, and you don't need to do it. This is perfection, and
but if they did an animated sequel,
and they had the series there for a hot minute, but that was it.
Yeah, that I
didn't know about that.
Yeah, there was a cartoon for 5 minutes.
I think it was like a season long, maybe 2.
I don't remember. Have to
when
try
was
to
that a
find it.
thing?
Early 90s.
Yeah,
I thought it was 2000s maybe. I'm not sure.
Was it that late?
I thought it was sometime in the 2000s. I might be wrong though. I don't remember.
See, looking at Bill Pullman's filmography,
it was 2008.
2008. Wow.
He's one of these actors that you also forget all the movies he's in until you're like, oh shit, I forgot he was in that. Because it's I forgot he was in Lake Placid. I'm sitting there looking, I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's a sheriff.
Lost Highway.
Yeah, Lost Highway. We mentioned Sleepless in Seattle, Dark Waters, Malice, A League of Their Own.
Oh yeah.
What was he a League of Their Own?
He was Gina Davis's husband.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scary Movie 4, The Grudge, which I hate that movie, but still he was in it. Brain Dead.
Oh wow, yeah.
I forget about another one. But yeah, I mean, there's a bunch on here that I'm just kind of like, oh yeah, I forgot about that fucking movie.
And one that he does, I don't know if it's still one. There's a show called The Sinner that he's in, and I've heard good things about it. I've never seen it, but this guy, his credits just go on and on. So you can't say enough good things about Bill Pullman. It's just a great cast all around, man.
Completely perfect cast.
Not only on screen but off screen. Just great people in general.
Right.
And that's what makes us
be on that set just for a day. Just hang out and watch everybody work.
Yeah, I mean the production alone, it just looks incredible. You got the giant Spaceballs, the Spaceball City. You got Yogurt's Chambers. You got Spaceball 1. You got all these different sets that are just so incredible. And I think at the time they used one of the largest blue screens inside of Spaceball 1 to create that. Whenever they're looking out into the space and everything like that, that was all blue screen. And Mel Brooks and them were talking about, because it was early on, whenever they started using the blue screens, and for whatever reason they thought that if you stared at the blue screen that it would cause some kind of damage to your eyes. So if you see any behind the scenes photos or anything, they're always wearing these yellow glasses that they gave them that was supposed to help prevent any eye damage, but it turned out being a myth after all. But it's pretty comical that
better be safe than sorry.
Sure, why not? But yeah, amazing sets. Mel Brooks, he's like I'm Jewish. I paid for all this. I want to be able to see it. So everything's all lit up and you can see everything. He's like, I paid for that wall. I want to be able to see it.
I mean, I can't fault him for that.
Yeah, he's right. Because everything looks great. I mean, like I said, I can't say enough good things about this movie. It's like perfect. And I think definitely at this point, just leave it alone.
Yeah.
If you were ever going to do a second one, I maybe would have did it around the time the prequels came out, which was 99.
Yeah, they missed their window.
But like I said, anyway, I kind of doubt Disney would be as cool as George Lucas was about it anyway. So.
Oh yeah.
But I'd say, yeah, let's just leave it alone. Let it be.
Leave it be. Yep.
And I don't know if we mentioned the budget for this movie was 22 mil. Box office was 38 in the U.S. And the reviews weren't great. And if you look the Rotten Tomatoes, I mean, I don't really pay attention to Rotten Tomatoes, to be honest, but they're not that great neither, which was fucking shocking. Siskel and Ebert were mixed about it, and I was like, fuck, really? But it's another one of those movies as time goes by and more people watch it and for what it is and enjoy it.
It's one of those films that
we do a lot of movies like that.
I was gonna say there's a lot of movies that you look at that we all see as classics now. That
Big Trouble in Little China is another one.
I mean, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Not Living Dead. Like nobody really knew any of these movies would ever end up having any kind of impact. And this is, I mean, if this isn't if this isn't one of the like most notable, like most known Mel Brooks movie next to Young Frankenstein, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're close.
You know what? Fuck Cisco.
I heard Young Frankenstein was actually Gene Wilder's idea. He brought it up to Mel Brooks.
Yeah, fuck Siskel, fuck Ebert.
Fuck Siskel and Ebert.
Ebert?
Ebert.
E-brake.
E-brake.
Air brake.
Andrew Dice Clay.
No.
But anyway.
But yeah, a classic. I even remember getting home after seeing this movie for the first time and playing with my Star Wars toys. Because I had the Millennium Falcon and it was like huge. So I made it go by real slow like the ship. I wish I still had those toys, man.
You're playing with your dolls.
Yeah, playing with your dolls again.
I still play with my dolls. I don't give a fuck.
Same thing I'm going to do to you, big boy.
Oh, your helmet is so big. What the fuck? He's like, what? Man. Knock on my door. Knock next time. Did you see anything?
No, sir. Did not see you playing with your dolls.
Good. Yeah, I'm going to check this show, The Center, out. Y'all keep talking about it.
Yeah, that's like I said. I heard good things about it, but I haven't seen anything.
What's that streaming on?
Don't know.
Jess.
Don't know.
Center is on Netflix.
No.
Nah.
Damn it. That's okay. Well, anyway, we could go on all night about this movie, but final thoughts for Spaceballs.
It is good.
Good. That's an understatement.
It's fucking.
It's
a good movie.
It's one of my favorite movies. One of my favorite movies.
Motherfucker. I was going to say I put it in my top 5 of all time. Top 5.
Remember, like that takes me back to when we first started this little adventure we've been on, and how we would always walk over each other when the other person was trying to talk.
When it was just audio.
Yeah, audio was rough.
Half of our old just audio shows was just like a big jumbled mess of us talking
fucking
over
awesome.
each other.
But man, if this is one of my favorite movies of all time, definitely one of, I would say it was my favorite comedy of all time. Just to perfection. Definitely my favorite Mel Brooks film. You know, I love Young Frankenstein. I love Blazing Saddles. You know, Men in Tights. You know, it's okay. I'm not the biggest fan of Men in Tights, but this film is just perfection when it comes to comedy, in my opinion. Like I said, the perfect balance of satire, slapstick, clever comedy. And, you know, like you've seen, we could just sit here and do we could sit here and do every single scene over and over again. And it would never get old because it's just classic. It just, everything is perfect. You know, it's one of those ones I lack the words to be able to describe how amazing this film is, because, you know, it speaks for itself. And like I said, my favorite Mel Brooks film, you know, it's Mel Brooks is one of my favorite directors of all time. I got to I remember he was doing a show up on in Broadway a few years back, and as soon as I had heard about it, I was like, I got to go up there and meet him. So I just took the weekend and I drove up to New York City, and and I got to meet him. So it was definitely a highlight for me to be able to meet Mel Brooks and show my appreciation for his work, because awesome. You know, just an amazing director, comedic genius. He's 97 years old, still kicking.
We're going.
He just got an award, I think at the Oscars a week or two ago, for you know, I can't remember what it was,
for being
honorary.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was one of those honorary ones. You know, obviously he hasn't had a film out recently or anything like that, but it's like one of those things they give to people that are you know, geniuses in the business. And you know, hopefully he's with us a lot longer, because, you know, 97, you know, he's still kicking it, and he's still amazing. So nothing but props and love for Mel Brooks and in this film.
Well, it was until Mike just jinxed it. Anyway.
Yeah, he said he moves around a lot and eats a lot of pineapple. Pineapples. So
Saves your life.
If that's the secret to eternal youth, pineapples.
Pineapples are great.
Oh, I forgot Dracula Dead and Loving It. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So do a lot of other people.
But I was just gonna say, yeah, it's no Spaceballs, but
that movie does have its funny moments. See, that's the weird thing is like some of the movies later on just seemed like Men in Tights. Really, like it just I don't know. It just kind of they're funny and they have funny moments, but they're not like Spaceballs or Young Frankenstein or Blazing Saddles. That's just complete like I don't know. I feel like later on films that he did were almost rushed. I don't know. They're not nearly as funny. They're not, you know.
Vodka and pineapples.
Vodka and pineapple.
You heard it here.
And it's funny because last week on our Valentine's episode we did True Romance, and we were talking about the guy, the blonde hair guy at the end, Boris, who was one of the gunmen. You know, whenever they did the big shootout scene. And we were trying to remember. I was trying to remember what he was from. For whatever reason, Die Hard popped in my head. But then I went back and looked, and he was Little John in Men in Tights. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right then.
See how we come around. We manage that.
Toll's a toll and a roll's a roll.
You don't pay no tolls, you don't get no rolls. We're gonna do.
Don't get into the. Never mind.
What part of Georgia you from? South Central.
We'll have to come back to that one night.
Because I know we're not going to be able to ever review Blazing Saddles.
No.
I love that movie, but it's a hard one to try to talk about without.
It's a different time.
I mean, with like us and our audience, we could get away with it, but YouTube would not allow that.
We wouldn't get away with it.
Silent movie, the producers. High Anxiety. I mean, History of the World. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Mel Brooks, fucking legend, man.
Legend. But this one's my favorite. I
for sure.
I gotta say, Spaceballs is my favorite. Part of my childhood. I've watched this movie I don't know how many times, and it never gets old. Never. It never gets old.
And that's why whenever, it came time for us to decide what are we going to do for our 100th episode, we were actually stewing on this for a while because we're like, what are we going to do? And we couldn't come up with any ideas. And we were like, you know what? We remember doing the 50th episode. We did Enter the Dragon, and we had so much fun with that. And we were like, let's just do a film that we all love and we all enjoy and have fun with it. And this was the thing that popped into all our heads, so let's do Spaceballs. We've talked about it before, and now it's like it came time. What better time than the 100th episode of the Video Store Clerks podcast?
I agree.
It was perfect.
And it was a long run getting here because it's been a shaky new year.
Yeah. And I just want to say that if it wasn't for this little adventure we're on, this podcast, and especially if it wasn't for you guys, man, I'd be in a really dark place right now.
Agreed.
And it's just getting together with you guys once a week just means the world. And
it's the highlight of my week.
It's been so much fun. Hope we keep going. We build our audience because I like our show. I think it's great.
Yeah, man.
That's the thing. That's the great part is, I always tell people, I was like, we're not here trying to make money or be big YouTube stars. We get together every week to hang out. Obviously I'm here, they're there. He's down in Kentucky. We're all in different parts and places. And it's not like we get to hang out all the time. So this is our one time a week where we can just sit down and bullshit about the films we love. And, it's just a good time. And it's like, if people join us and comment and watch, and it makes it that more better, much better. So, thank you for everyone that's ever came and watched our show. And we're going to continue to keep doing this and hopefully entertain ourselves, and just have a great time.
And that's it. We would never have a paywall or anything like that. We're here to hang out with y'all. That's it.
I got to say, this being the 100th episode and everything, it's always been a good time. You know, it was shaky when we first got this thing, first started going with just audio, and then coming up and doing this shit, you know.
Appreciate it.
And sorry. But no, like coming from another podcast and being on other podcasts and stuff, this is by far the most fun I've had on a video podcast that I've done ever.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, starting this thing out, I mean, I never did a podcast before. Like Dave didn't either. He just kind of threw this together, and then fucking we just started doing it. Like I never thought we'd get this far. I figured we'd do it for a few months and get tired of it and fucking move on to other bullshit. But this has definitely been the highlight of my week for years now.
And it just seems like yesterday we were doing episode 50. You know,
It
it's
does.
so
It
crazy.
does. It really does. And
What do we
Chuck,
do
you've
for
been here since day one. Mike, man, I'm so glad you came on with us. I never asked you before because I didn't think you'd have the time.
Yeah, I'm very busy, but you know, I'm not too busy for my friends, you know, and anytime I can contribute, you know, I like being goofy and silly and having fun, and that's what it's all about, the positive energy in life. You know, I travel a lot, you know, obviously if you see my my channels and everything like that, I try to incorporate in that and give the viewers on the Video Store Clerks a little bit more insight. You know, whenever I travel to these places, these filming locations and everything like that, you know, I want to give them a view of something that they might not be able to go and see. So there's going to be more of that coming. You know, this is only episode 100. Much more to come. We're going to have special guest stars that we're lining up for you guys, and things are just going to get bigger and better from here.
It's going to be a good year. Yep.
So subscribe now because
it's the year of the Schwartz.
That's it. It's the year of the Schwartz.
No.
And before we go, for the 100th time, it is time for our random clip of the week.
What we got? What we got? Put them on.
Cue the clip. Prepare the clip.
Preparing the clip. Roll clip.
We passed this point. In fact, never play this again. And he doesn't even go through the. Oh wait.
Yeah, the longest death ever.
Oh my God, die!
That's my reaction when I walk into my kids' room and step on 50 Legos. It's like a reenactment.
Wow.
I've seen that clip before. Haven't we seen that before on here?
No.
Or have I seen? Okay, so I've seen that somewhere else too. It might have been when I was on Tails, but I've seen that clip before, and that's Jesus. It's so ridiculous.
In fact, never play that again.
Bloodsucking Freaks is Trash Tuesday.
That's a good movie. Have you seen Bloodsucking Freaks?
God, yeah.
Oh yeah, classic.
The Ring.
Yeah, that was definitely from the 70s.
The Ring is Bupkis. I found it in a Cracker Jack box.
All right. And before we go, we will open a fortune cookie. You want to open it or?
Good.
Let's see what the fortune says.
I got my dog biscuits.
You know, sex is a lot like a Chinese meal. It's not over until you both get your cookies. I don't remember what movie that was, but it was Alec Baldwin that said it.
The path is getting easier from here on out. Luck is helping.
Is that really what it says? Hold it up to the camera so nobody thinks you're working us.
I love that.
I don't know if you can see that. Focus. Focus.
Focus. Good enough.
Hell yeah.
That really is what it says. I couldn't make
That's
that
weird.
Up. That's a good one.
I just grabbed a random fortune cookie.
That's a good one.
It wasn't random. It was the universe. She speaks in mysterious ways.
So once again, we thank you so much. I kind of don't want to leave, but I guess we have to depart.
Until next week. What is in store for next week?
Yeah, what is next week?
Well, as we were talking earlier about art from the burbs, next week we will be doing The Burbs.
Oh man, another great comedy, man. Oh
yeah, like that's definitely up in my top 5 as well. Like
yeah,
comedies and shit.
Oh,
yeah, I've probably seen that movie damn near as many times as I've seen this movie. And every time I catch other shit, like me and Mike quote that fucking movie all the time. We're always talking about going down to the fucking deli and getting us some beef sandwiches.
But more on that next week. But oh my gosh, this is such a great year. We're knocking out some of our favorite films, and join us next week. We're going to be doing The Burbs.
Hope to see everybody here again.
Yes, and thank you all for being part of the Video Store Clerks Podcast, episode 100.
I can't remember what the quote's from. It's from some. It's about some kid. It's about some kids. Is that what it is?
She said outside.
Oh, okay. All right. My bad. I was seeing that thinking it was a question, and then okay, I got it now. Yeah.
Yes, that.
That does it for us. We're out of here. Thank you again. 100 episodes in the books. All right. And we will see you guys next Tuesday. May the shorts be with you.